UofL students use creative engineering concepts to come up with new and improved household items. Keith Kaiser shows us what they have in store for Demo Day. Good morning, Keith.
Yeah, you know what? They got some great minds working on things like this. A countertop dishwasher, a new and improved coffee grinder. When we come back, we'll explore some of their minds coming up on WDRB in the morning.
Thank you. Keith Kaiser is joining some UofL mechanical engineering students today.
Yes, they are trying to tackle some real-world engineering design problems. Good morning, Keith.
I feel smarter just being in the room with a bunch of these folks right here. You can look around. There are many different projects that have been created this semester, and they're going to show you some of that this morning, and there's a big demonstration day happening today. One of the teams is right here, Matt Bone right here, and this has got to be invigorating to have all these projects happening at once.
Yes, it's a lot of fun, and it's a lot to keep track of. Every project has their own special nuance and their own problems and their own solutions.
What is it? What's happening at Capstone Design Demonstration Day?
Okay, so they are all seniors in the mechanical engineering program. Capstone is at the end of their program. They're bringing together everything they've learned throughout their undergraduate curriculum, and they're applying it to a design project.
They were given a challenge right here, Katie, Ben, Herman, and Trung, and so a coffee grinder that does something different when it grinds coffee.
Yeah, so our job was to come up with a new technology for grinding coffee, and we actually implemented a cone grinder style that's typically found in manufacturing, but not typically found in grinding. So you can actually see
Push play right there.
An example of the inner cone that we're using in our cone grinder. Now a drill bit comes down in and actually spins around and is able to grind the beans inside this machine.
You can adjust it up and down for the coarseness.
So you adjust it up and down whether you want a coarse ground or a Turkish ground, depending on what kind of coffee you like.
All right, Ben, you run that, and then when we come back, I want some coffee. I want it all done.
Okay.
So he's going to grind it right there, and they have to build all these projects too. Now we're going to make our way over to the countertop dishwasher. Audra Major, we got Ryan right here. Ryan, Nick, Steven. And so how does this thing work?
Right, so this is the solo dishwasher. The idea is that it also kind of serves as a storage cabinet for your dishes, and as they get dirty, you put it inside and basically turn on this button, and it'll heat up a reservoir with water, and then once that water reaches a certain temperature, it turns on a pump. And it's a little bit different of a cleaning solution than what a normal dishwasher is, because we can actually have direct flow onto certain dishes. So you can see we have direct flow right onto the pump, or onto the bowl in this instance.
And so it just sits right on your countertop, and of course it's plexiglass right here, so you want to see what's happening with the mechanics, but the finished product would be something beautiful and just sitting right there, and you wouldn't even know it's there.
Exactly.
And it just washes dishes.
Yep.
Some great solutions that are coming up, and Matt too, you're working with sponsors to come up with these problems.
Yes. This semester we have projects from Cummins. They've been a great sponsor of ours for years. GE and First Build are here, and we have a whole host of them next semester coming along.
So they come out, they say, we got a problem, we want you to solve it. Sounds like a Vanilla Ice song right there. But Candace Sterling, some great minds all in one room here, and I'm among them. So I feel like I'm just as smart as they are.
Smart enough to stay out of the way.
I'll agree with your comment, Keith. He really is a pretty smart guy.
Yeah, he is a creative thinker, and that's something special.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, tackling engineering problems for local companies.
Keith Kaiser's learning about the inventions from UofL students. Keith?
You know what? I'm always looking for a nice press shirt. I think they've solved it right here. What is this? What is this contraption?
So what we have here, we have a clothes steamer. It's going to be automated. A lot of people spend a lot of time actually putting it up and down. They burn themselves. Our goal was to create a steamer that all you'll have to do is press a button.
Put the shirt in, push the button, there you go. When we come back, I'm going to see how that works. And then we move down here. Clear ice. Are you throwing clear ice everywhere?
Yes, we are throwing it all over the table today.
A solution to make clear ice like this.
We have the clearest ice in town.
So when we come back, I want to know how it all works.
No problem.
Coming up on WDRB in the morning.
Students solving problems.
Keith Kaiser's learning about a group of engineering students at UofL using what they learned in the classroom to solve real-world problems. Keith?
You know what? A bunch of great minds came together to create this right, an automatic steamer and some clear ice. You know you needed clear ice, don't you? So when we come back, we'll see what goes into a project like this coming up on WDRB in the morning.
Thank Keith Kaiser's joining some UofL mechanical engineering students this morning.
They're tackling real-world engineering design problems. Keith, good morning.
You know what? There are problems out there you didn't know about until you get here to class. They said, I want a solution. I want automatic steamed clothes.
Yes. So these are our seniors in mechanical engineering. They've worked all semester on this project. They've got another semester to go, but today they're demonstrating their halfway point. I don't like to do my clothes in the morning, so I thought this would be a great project.
And this is fantastic. And you got sponsors that come in and say, okay, here's our problem, and then you guys figure it out.
So this actually, the steamer is a problem that the mechanical engineering department is sponsoring, but we have GE, First Build, Cummins here today, CCWR Grandmaster, lots of different companies work with us.
Let's see what happened here. Jalen, Kurt, Dustin, Case, Steve here. Automatic steamer, how's it work?
Okay, so what we have is we have our water reservoir, which feeds into a heating tube, and the steam comes up from the bottom. The idea is this is an insulated bag. The steam builds up, de-wrinkles the clothes, and then we can
Kurt, let's
test
see.
it out.
Let's see if you got steam? Absolutely. Look at that, steaming right there, and then look at it, nice pressed shirt. Beautiful. I'm going to bring over all my laundry, and you guys can do it right here. But then it dries inside there, and then it's ready to go.
There's going to be a drying cycle that gets all the dampness out of the clothes.
Great idea right there. We move down here. Clear ice. You didn't know it, but you need clear ice. You know, you get it at a restaurant, you have the clear ice, but can you do it at home? I think that was the problem that they solved here. We got Kern right there. We got Ben right there. We got Sam right there. We got Mary right there. She's kind of sponsoring these guys. And we got Caleb and then Michael. Clear ice. How do we do it, Michael?
We do it with vapor compression. This will be made in the fridge unit yourself. What we have here is we have water flowing over a chilled plate, so it will form ice cubes on this chilled plate. Now, only the pure H2O molecules will freeze. All the other dissolved solids and air bubbles will just wash away. So you get pure ice cubes. These are the current ice cubes out of our maker.
And then right here, too.
If you have an industrial maker, you get a higher volume, and you get very clear, crystal clear ice cubes. Compared to your regular, everyday ice cubes.
Cloudy. Who needs that? Nobody needs that.
Exactly.
Throw that down right there. Nobody likes the cloudy ice. But some great solutions here at UofL, the mechanical engineering department, and they're demonstrating today, kind of showing their sponsors what they've done. And then the First Build sponsoring this one right here. Cannon Sterling, everyone needs clear ice. Everyone.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is. Bring us some back, Keith.
Now I want that dry cleaning bag.
Yeah, you and me
I
both.
don't need clean ice, but I do need pressed clothes.
UofL engineering students are taking on real-world problems.
Keith Kaiser's learning about some of the projects designed to help local industrial partners. Keith?
You know, some of these things are like an automated steamer, making clear ice, maybe a countertop dishwasher. Right now, come on over here, Chip. You guys, what did you do here with your project?
Well, we're working to make using a CNC machine easier for the common person.
The regular person. So
Yes.
you making parts and pieces and software to make that happen, and a cake tool that Adrian said, I need something to help me build my cakes. And then Nick and Drew came up with something like this. When we come back, how it works, coming up on WDRB in the morning.
UofL students use creative engineering concepts to come up with new and improved household items. Keith Kaiser shows us what they have in store for demo day. Good morning, Keith.
Actually, big industrial machining equipment too, making things easier. And these guys are a team right here. And then you get down to maybe making cakes and making those simpler. And we come back, how their projects came together, coming up on WDRB in the morning.
Joins some UofL mechanical engineering students this morning.
They're trying to tackle some real-world engineering design problems. Keith, good morning.
You know, I find all this stuff fascinating. You know, just from a problem standpoint, and then finding that solution, and then creating something out of that. And Chip, Morgan, Dylan, Trevor did just that in the big industrial machines. They can be a little complicated, and so your job was to do what?
Our job is to kind of make the process a little bit simpler so the common person could potentially use this machine in the future. Right now we're working to bring it to the common person, and there's some...
And it comes down to this piece right here, which you're making on a machine right there, and this kind of, it simplifies the process.
Yes, it simplifies the process by allowing you to fixture your stock parts and go one way and put it in there, and then come back and do a second operation without having to refixture the part, which really cuts down on time.
We'll show that big machine right now because it can be a little complicated with using the right tools at the right time and the kind of the software. You guys created some software too to make it work, right?
We have not yet created the software. We're working on that mostly in the spring.
So year-long project.
Yes.
For you guys. Yeah, some of these other ones were just a semester long, and this kind of a finished product right there. Now another problem. Cakes. Cakes have been a big problem through centuries and centuries and centuries. And Adrian Keene, you were a baker, and you said, okay, I got a problem. I need some fellows to solve it. What is it?
How to put the internal cake support structure in multi-tier cakes.
And now, it's pretty simple enough. Here's cake right here, cake and a cake, put them on top of each other, and we need to measure that out. Nick, Drew, you guys came up with something. What is it?
This is the piece of cake, so it's a tool that essentially allows you to place the dowel rods in a given position as well as mark the diameter of the next cake that will be on top. So simply just place it on top here, find your diameter of your cake, and so you can mark under the dowel rod placement as well as the next diameter of that cake, and then you'll be able to place that straight on top.
How easy does it make it, Adrian, for this right here?
It makes it so much easier. It makes it quicker, more effective, perfectly aligned cakes, and I've got a great design, and I'm sitting on somebody's table, and they're very, very happy.
Look at that. And of course, there are so many other projects here this morning that we're learning about, and demonstration day happens today. And their final grade, I think they get an A+. You get an A+? A+? A+, A+, A+. Okay, I'll give you an A+.
Thank you, Keith.
I give you an A+, Keith. Job well done, sir. Companies. Keith Kaiser is learning about the inventions from UofL students. Good morning, Keith.
You know, there's so many different problems out there, and they found some solutions here at the Department of Mechanical Engineering. Coffee grinder, doing different things right there. A countertop dishwasher over here. An automatic steamer over there. And these guys, we don't want to talk about them because it's undercover work. And then right here, clear ice. And now, Eric, you go that way. These guys have tried to come up with a way for wheelchair accessible refrigerator. Daniel, reveal when we come back all the parts and pieces that went into this project coming up on WDRB in the morning.
Students solving problems.
Keith Kaiser's learning about a group of engineering students at UofL using what they learned in the classroom to solve real-world problems. Keith?
You know, one of those projects is a wheelchair accessible refrigerator. We're going to look inside and see what the boys came up with coming up on WDRB in the morning.
Thanks, Mike. Keith Kaiser is joining some UofL mechanical engineering students this morning.
They are tackling real-world engineering design problems. Good morning, Keith.
Today is demonstration day, so there's about 8 projects here in the room here. They're going to demo it to their sponsors who said, hey, I got an idea, I got a problem, I want you to come up with some great solutions. We got Nick right here, we got Jordan right here, we got Carrie right here, we got Daniel right here, we got Jordan over there. And First Build and GE said, hey, there's a couple of them right here. Stephanos right there, and then Mary from First Build, Stephanos from GE. And they said, wheelchair accessible refrigerator. You got it, Carrie. You guys said, let's use a refrigerator and make this wheelchair accessible, right?
Yeah. Basically, there's 1 in every 40 households have somebody who's in a wheelchair, and a refrigerator is something you use every day, and it's actually one of the most difficult appliances for somebody in a wheelchair to use.
Look at this right here. What did you do to make it better?
So right off the bat, you can see the front's a little different. We talked to the physical therapist over at GE, and they basically recommend that all of their patients use some sort of looping mechanism that they can actually put their hand in and open it up, and we kind of made an indentation right here where we could put our hand in and open it up easier. Especially works for people who have a lesser ability to
And then
grasp.
go through some of these ideas right here real quick.
Right off the bat, you can see we don't have any kind of shelving for a couple reasons. One, we wanted to keep the weight down on the door when you're opening it up because it can be very difficult when you're in a wheelchair. And 2, the shelves can, if you've got something small, it can be very difficult to grasp and reach in there and get that small item out, which allowed us to lengthen these actual slide-out shelves here. And bring them closer to the user in the wheelchair so that they don't have to reach as far back. The number one thing we did made these shelves the ability to slide out. So if they're in a wheelchair, this will be right at their waist level or their chest level, and they can access anything on here.
And rather from grabbing it from underneath, you can grab it on top.
Exactly,
you learned about that. And then the pull-down shelf here,
Yes.
this comes down easy, and then people can, and 5 pounds of weight on each one of these. You don't want any more than that
That's
to
the
make it
requirement.
easier.
We want to be less than 5 pounds.
Great ideas here all morning long. We've had some cool little inventions, and they're going to demonstrate them today for their grade 9:30 to 11 for the sponsors when they come in and check those out. Candace Sterling, some great minds think alike. I thought about coming here, so I thought I am in that category.
He's taking credit. All right.
I think he's just supervising.
Smart by association there.
That's right. Surround yourself with smart people. I think that's Keith's philosophy.
Smart thing to do.